started getting money, living lavish in the stool every day. I done turned it to a habit. Man, I had to make it happen. When I first started rapping, they said it would never happen. Poof, making money like it's magic. Every time I hop up on a beat, I turn it to a classic. These little boys screaming that they want a static. When I pull up, tell me why they started panic. Run it up, run it up.
We're back. It's been about a couple of months of a break, right, since we last spoke. I have my girls here with me, Francesca, woo, Monique, woo, Judy May, woo, and I'm Sherelle.
Hey.
And we're just gonna have some girl talk today. You know, you guys are always seeing the guys, so let's have some girl talk today.
Sprinkle.
I do have a couple of questions that I want to discuss with you ladies today. All right, let's kick it off. So, life has been lifing for sure these past couple of years.
Absolutely.
For sure this year. We were just talking about how this year feels like, technically, I feel like we've been in 2 years within the 1 year. So life has been lifing, right? So the first question is, how do you deal with the lows in your life? Who would like to take it away first? Anybody? Any volunteers?
I would say a drink, but
I know that's right.
It helps, 100%.
I know that's right.
I hear you.
because that's the first thing I thought of. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, a little wine.
I would say, during the lows. Besides that, on the, to be honest, just having some support from someone, whether it be a friend, family, whatever, just getting it out there. Like when you're going through something and you're internalizing it, you really just want to talk to someone and get it out there.
For sure.
So I think just for me, it's talking to someone about it. It doesn't have to, I'm not big with therapists, but just talking to a friend and letting it out.
Right.
Don't
I like that.
I would piggyback on that as well. I feel like having a community and having a safe space to process what you're feeling, to get it all out, you got to vent, but also, having input, having another person be able to just encourage you through it. And I also feel as though a lot of times when I'm going through a low moment, I need detox, like a detox from social media, a detox from certain things while I'm getting my mind right, just to make sure that whatever I'm going through, I'm seeing it in proper perspective and not comparing it to whatever I may be seeing online.
Okay, I know that's right.
Yeah.
Judy May.
I don't know if this is healthy, but
Oh, Lord.
like if I'm on a low part, I completely shut down. I don't know if that's healthy, but it's how I deal with it. And just like if I'm dealing with a lot, I just need time to separate from a lot and just shut down and just be present with myself and just take it in. Because like when I talk to other people, it's okay, but I feel like it rushes me getting well, and I'm not prepared to go back to like normal, not even high, but like normal.
Yeah. Right.
So for me to get back to normal, I just need to shut down.
Yeah.
And then I regain my
Like a
battery.
pause.
It's a whole pause.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I'm good.
All right.
Pause is good.
What do? Therapy is big with me. I do need that out. I feel like with a therapist, I have that outside person. So we all talked about the community, and I'm like, I kind of have that community. I talk to y'all every day. I need the outside person. So therapy, I'm big on prayer, and kind of taking a bit from you. Like I kind of seclude myself a little bit. But when I'm secluding myself, I go into prayer and I like listen to God. And the Lord be telling me stuff that I don't really want to hear, like telling me to be nice and be patient, and I don't want to be. But I kind of like go back into, just give me a minute and I'll come back and figure out the rest of life. So
Yeah, that's right.
yeah, that's all right, I think. Which leads into the next question, though. How does faith play into... This is how does faith play into your love life? So we getting into our love lives now. We just completely jumped into another ship, okay? So let's see. Yeah, how does faith play into your love life? Now, can I start here?
Go ahead.
All right.
Go ahead.
I'm single. Everybody, okay. I had to. I don't know. So I'm single. So faith for me is just praying for God to send somebody. However, okay, put a clip in here. Because I'm waiting. I'm not waiting in life. I want somebody to come in, but I'm also praying, God, while I'm waiting for him, give me this house, give me this this new job, give me the nice bank account. Let me do what I need to do, Lord, while I'm waiting. So that's how faith is playing for me in this moment. But I do pray for my husband, and I've actually started praying a little bit more intentional than normal. Like usually I'd be like, all right, God, give me a husband or whatever. But I've started to pray for specific stuff and pray for my husband, not like God give me a husband, but like God protect him, God bless him wherever he's at, open doors for him or whoever he is, cover him and guide him and let no other,
I'm done.
let no others come over and trick him into, don't let nobody lock him down with a baby. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, cover him in that sense, Lord. So I'm starting to pray those prayers instead. What about you guys?
I mean, you have to.
Right.
So I go with that in terms of praying and being intentional about it. The way my faith directs me, to be honest, is I'm very mindful when dating where they stand. And there's a particular reason for it because I know that I want a leader in terms of not just financially, whatever, but more so I need somebody to lead me continually towards my faith path. So I'm continuously praying for my husband to be a faith-based leader. So he has to stand in something, culturally, we're like, does he stand on anything? So you got to make sure that he stands firm in his faith. So I'm constantly praying that, he's standing tall.
Stand up.
Yes. What's the girl from TikTok? Stand up.
I think for me, how faith directs my love life, I feel like my love life, it's a byproduct of how faith directs my life. So for me, it gives me a standard. So it gives me a standard that I abide for myself financially, my mental health, emotional health, what type of person I'm trying to be. So I just feel like it gives me a standard to become better. So I'm looking, faith is kind of directing me to look for someone who's also becoming better and progressing as well. So it gives a standard of the different principles that I'm standing on if you're standing on these very same faith principles as well.
I'm going to come back. I have a question in mind.
For me, so currently I'm not looking.
Girl, don't
She was
blame
like,
me.
I'm busy.
I'm busy. No, I'm
Focus on
busy.
you.
And I'm tired. But also faith, it determines how serious I'll take any pursuits pretty much. And it's just me like evaluating where the other person stands in their faith. So like if I know like they know God but they don't know of God or they don't love Jesus, or they know of Jesus but don't love him. It determines how serious I take the pursuit. Because like if you don't love Jesus, you're not my husband.
You're not the one.
You're not the one.
You don't
So
get
I'm
a
not gonna put
rose.
so much energy into that. So it's just like, yeah. It was also teaching me patience because I know what I'm looking for. It's like if anything does come my way, it's just like I'm not gonna entertain it because I don't have the time to entertain it.
Okay.
Oh, that's
busy.
right. Yes,
And
that's very
busy.
busy. But that leads to the question, and you kind of touched on it a little bit there, is how do you then test that, right? When you're on, let's say you're on your first date, like, are there questions that you ask, or is it just, I'm just seeing how you act? Or is it like a continuous, like the third date, I see how you talk to the waiter. Do you pick me up? Do you open the door? Like, do we pray before we eat? Like what does that look like?
Only reason why I'm gonna jump on this because I've done it.
Okay.
Where it's like in the past when I've dated, you got to be very mindful and watch because I've had people who've known where I stood in my faith and have, I don't want to call it a chameleon, but like you kind of like shape shift where you make it seem like you're something that you're not. And then when you sit back and you really watch and you're like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
You trying to tell me that you go to church and you do X, Y, and Z, but I see something else when I sit back and I watch. So I feel like for me, it's watching and asking specific questions that are not like drilling.
Yeah.
Right.
But
Yeah.
more so like just kind of, I just want to see where your head's at,
Yeah.
where you stand on this. But then you have to watch to see.
Does it align with what you
Yeah.
say?
you
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
and I'm the same way. Very much so. I'm not really big on. I'm just coming out the gate. You believe in Jesus?
Yeah,
I'm
no.
not. You know what I mean?
feel like that was a stab.
It wasn't. It wasn't. But I can see how you think that.
Yeah.
No, I'm very much. If if you plant orange seeds, you should see orange fruit.
That's right.
So if the seed is there, I feel like the fruit in your life should show.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it should show in how you treat others. It should show just the different things that you're doing, and I should be able to see something in you if I'm just sitting back, just asking regular questions, and how you evaluate things and your self-awareness. You know, do I see growth happening in your life and what you're doing? So I think that happens, and as we are talking, these things should be coming to light. But like she said, if I just come out straight out the gate just saying these different things, then you could say, yeah, me too. And I could put on this face for ever how long, and if you're not really watching to see does the words align because you're just happy that a person is there,
Yeah.
you can miss a lot of different flags that are just showing there in the name of having someone.
That's right. Yes. Next question kind of falls in line. For the first date, right? Should the man pick you up, which I kind of alluded to, yes. Should the man pick you up, and what is an appropriate first date? I haven't thought about that,
Go ahead.
right? Because we're trying to get to know one another, right? I feel like movie dates don't necessarily. Why? We're just
So
sitting. We
annoying.
have to be silent. Like, you know what I mean? I can't get to know you. You know, like it's weird.
Movie dates only work if there is a part 2 to this date.
Right.
Like a
That's not
dinner
all
or
it
A
is.
something.
dinner
Yeah.
afterward.
Yeah.
Like, we really want to see this movie together. We'll watch the movie
Yeah.
and then we
Discuss and
debrief,
talk.
discuss, or
Yeah.
have a like in-depth conversation after the fact.
Yeah.
But that's
Right.
the only way to me
Yeah.
that movie dates work.
No, I totally agree. There has to be somewhere in the date where we're having a conversation with one another. You know,
Absolutely.
I do like the game one because then you get to see like if I hate to lose, and I get to see how you react if you lose. Like you know what I
Absolutely.
mean. I need to see your temper tantrums or anything like that. Yeah, so definitely talking, a date where we're talking.
Yeah.
For
Me, I feel like you said something about picking up.
should the guy pick you up?
For me, it depends on my comfortability with the guy. I feel like if I don't feel as
Safe.
comfortable and completely safe and secure, then I'll be like, I'll meet you.
Right.
Because I need to be able to go.
Yeah,
Hop in the
exactly.
whip.
If
Get out
I
of
feel
here.
like
When I'm ready to go,
uncomfortable,
I'm ready to go.
I'm not
go.
gotta be stuck on you to get me home.
Right.
But if I feel a level of comfortability, a level of respect that
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
you have, then I may be like, okay, you can pick me up and know where I reside.
Right.
And feel comfortable with that. An appropriate date, I feel like it just, for me, it's like what I'm interested in and what you're interested in, and are we just entering each other worlds of different interests, and like I love activities and doing
Yeah.
fun things, and I feel like I learn more about you by that.
Yeah.
It's not just what you tell me, but what I'm seeing in your actions.
Doesn't feel so interviewee, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Like you're
Absolutely.
just with each other.
I'm trying to think. I do like first picnics. Those are fun.
Oh, those are cute.
Like,
I have
and
a basket.
and the reason why
have
it's
allergies.
it's
my gosh.
interactive, and you can make it what you want it. Like,
true.
Yeah.
it could be where other people are around, or if you want a private picnic, bring games and getting to know each other in that way. Like,
Right.
there's bringing forth the games at the same time of being, I guess, interviewee.
The games keep
Yeah.
it light, though. The games keep it light.
Those card games that they
Yes.
have now
Yeah.
are like
Everything,
excellent.
yeah.
Especially like if it's a first date, you don't know what questions to ask to set the person off. So
Yeah,
it's
takes the
like
pressure off. Yeah,
it kind of
does.
helps a
It
little
does,
bit.
definitely.
that's a good one. Yeah,
Yeah.
For the question about should the guy
pick you up.
for pay
Appropriate
no,
date.
pay for the date?
No, like should the guy pick you up? That's part of the question.
I mean,
guess.
that's you can answer that too.
We should talk about that.
But that part, it depends. Because like if he asked me on a date, why would I pay?
I mean,
Right.
Yeah. So like if he asked me, but if I asked him, which I would never do, if I asked him on a date, it would make sense for me to pay.
Never say never.
Never say
I
that.
know. I'll never.
If
If we're in a relationship, we can go half and half. Not half and half, but like,
I'll
well,
volunteer, but don't let me really
but
pay.
exactly.
You know? I'm a fake pull the
But
wallet out. Like
also good first dates. I like interactive things. So like a first date I always wanted to go to It was like a batting cage. I don't know why, but I always wanted to go to a batting
But if you
cage.
want to,
Only
you
because
want
I've never done it before.
That's
And
cute.
then yeah, I always want to do that.
I like that.
That's cute.
Where the batting cage around?
They're like the White Towns.
Was it like batting cage, the axe throwing?
Yeah, or like
Yeah.
Top Golf or something like that.
Top Golf
Like,
is fun
Top
for
Golf
first
is-
date.
Yeah.
Top Golf is fun,
Golf
too.
is a good one.
That's true.
I like that one. But as far as paying, yes, sir, pay. You know, what
It
I'm saying?
depends,
'Cause
though.
They're always like guys are like, oh, protect, provide. Like this is your inkling of, oh, I can provide. Like you can pay for a $60, $70, you know,
They
thing.
will
Listen,
offer, but
I've known some
But I'm still
people
bringing my own
who
card
have
just in
gone
case.
out and have ordered quite a bit.
oh, that's rude.
Okay,
With
yeah, you're taking it overboard
expectation
if you do that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
he's gonna
that's
pay.
not appropriate.
That's rude.
Yeah.
It's not there you go,
Yeah.
where it's appropriate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's-
So I agree with him paying,
Yeah.
but there has to be a.
But I also
that's
think, like, as far as the girl, like, you got to gauge what type of girl you're on a date
Before
with.
you
know
take
what
them
I mean?
out on a
Before you
date.
take them out on a date.
It's
Like,
not just taking
is she
them
a
out.
cool, chill girl? Like, you know, she's not about to just rack up the bill because, or is it one of these,
Is she really
you know,
interested in
girls?
me?
Right, or she just want to ride in my whip and then make
No,
me
she
pay
just want dinner.
and put on the gram. Like, you know,
She
yeah,
might
there
just
are
want
those
dinner.
too. They
Yeah.
just
Just
want
want
dinner.
dinner. Like,
You
did you
know?
even interview
Can I
her
get
to make
go
sure
too? Like,
she
you know,
really even interested in you?
yeah, that's rough. But just gauging who you're on a date with. All right. Do you think that chivalry is dead? I'm not gonna start this one. Should we start with the young one?
Oh, my
Do you think
generation.
chivalry? She's like, oh,
I don't know. I really do believe in the notion that if he wanted to, he would.
okay.
And the same, like, if she wanted to, she would. So, like, it's always like, when that right person comes in, you'll know what to do that makes them feel special and makes it their own type of chivalry that they appreciate. So, I don't think it's dead. I feel like some people lack the social cues to execute it well.
Yeah.
Or,
That's
like,
a
to
good one.
read it.
That's-
Or be
yeah.
like, because, like, even though we go into, like, love languages, right? Like, if someone buys me a gift, I'm not going to... Gifts aren't my love language. So if someone buys me a gift, I'm not thinking about, oh, he thought of me. I'm thinking about, like, wow, he spent money on me. Like, I got to think what he spent money on him
Right.
back. Like, that's not something I would appreciate the right way compared to someone else who loves gifts. They'll appreciate it more. And that's their form of, like, oh, chivalry. Oh, yeah. But, yeah.
Okay.
So my issue with that question is, what does the definition of chivalry?
Yeah.
Like, what does it look like? What does it sound like? Like, it's difficult to define it because if we go based off of the old school, hold the door open
I was
for
just about
me.
to say that's probably what.
Yeah, so is that dead? Maybe. Maybe.
Oh man.
But there are other things that call forth chivalry. Like if you say to me, if I say I'm running low on gas and all of a sudden you at my house and I'm like, what are you doing? And you're taking my car to get gas. Like that's deep.
My
Yeah.
love language.
That's deep.
I
So
hate anything to do with a car.
as but you see what I'm saying? Like when you're like that, because I could be like that too, like, but I have to deal with it.
Yeah.
But I don't like to deal with it. So to have someone who's like, what you need, your tires need to be changed, you rotate it, I'll take it to go get rotated. I'll do this, I'll do that. To me, that's love languages and a form of chivalry. So I think that there are still men out here that want to provide for their significant others in that way, where they're showing their appreciation by saying, you know what? I don't want you to go to the gas station. I got that. That's me. That's on me. So I don't think that's dead, but there are other forms that are.
I agree too. I don't think that it's dead. I do agree with Judy. Like, I don't think that guys do it for everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that you know, they may do it for that right person. They may, and it's not even. They just may find out what's important to you and do that. And I feel like can show up in that capacity and whatnot. So I don't think that it's dead. I don't think it's as known as much as we know all the negative that's out there when it comes to dating and this whole war between men versus women and each one
Yeah.
using the next one. But I think that no, it's not dead. I think there are a lot of people that are being very chivalrous with their right person.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's dead. I think that it's it hasn't been really taught. Really? I feel like the generation just didn't pass down, and then now they're mad that the younger generation doesn't know. Well, you didn't teach, you know.
That's very true.
For me, so with my nephew Jason, like when we go out, I purposely will stand at the door until he opens it, right? And then so now he has this thing where whenever he sees, especially when he sees older women, he'll like hold the door or whatever. And then, but I do teach him, when you hold the door, I want you to hold the door until that person says thank you. Right?
But
if they don't say thank you, say you're welcome, so that they realize, oh, I didn't say thank you. Usually, and it's happened to us before. Usually, the person forgets to say thank you. He says you're welcome, and the person turns around and says, oh, thank you, gentleman or youngster or whatever. You know, opening up the doors, we're working on that. Pulling out chairs when we go out to dinners or whatever. Like just like common stuff, right? I think that falls under the protect, provide umbrella that most men, right, want to fall under, right? Because like that part of chivalry is like, I'm protecting my female woman, mother, sister, daughter, whoever. Doesn't have to just be your girl. You know, it falls under that, right? Yeah, I chivalry, I just think it's not taught.
I agree with you with that, and I don't know why this popped in my head, but I think about the generation before, when it came to prom, we didn't do a big deal, but the new generation does prom proposals. You know what I mean? It's an expectation, and it's this new thing, and it's beautiful. We all like, wow, this is so nice.
It's at the church.
It was, yeah.
Oh, I missed it. Where was
I
that?
did it just came up with my memories when he did it, and she was so happy when he came in and did the prom proposal. So it shows that it can be, it can be taught, whether it's being taught or not. I think is a big thing in the expectations of it all.
Yeah.
Can I go back to the fact that it is you lead by example. So they don't have, our generation, the generation below, they don't have clear examples what that even looks like. Going back to the definition of it, we don't see that many men opening doors or doing the things that we say. But then at the same time, when I go back to what I said in terms of like the gas and stuff, nobody records that.
That is true.
Nobody records
that. Is
But
true.
so they're out here doing
out
it,
there,
but we
just
don't
not-
see it.
Yeah.
And the men coming up, boys coming up, don't see it.
They don't see it.
So there's no examples for
What
that.
they
Unless-
do
unless they
see
have an
is like
example.
the
toxic.
materialistic,
Yeah.
the materialistic stuff. Like
I think that's bigger on.
it's like
bigger
right now. I don't know how these children have money, but it's like they're buying like brand name stuff and like even
They
like,
don't. It's the people around them that's buying it.
It's still too much
however
to
they
me
getting
because
it.
how you get it.
Yeah.
They're doing like the new Jordan drops and like it's not even like retail price, it's resale price. And it's like the jewelry, the bags, the Balenciagas. It's just like they think this generation thinks that's a form of chivalry because like, oh, I have the money, I'm providing in that way, like materialistically. But sometimes like I said, like some people won't appreciate it the way you think they would
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
Like if I have a need, like we were talking about cars, right? And how I hate anything to do with a car, right? Like for me, the chivalry would be put gas in my car, change this oil, fix these brakes.
No, it's even better when you don't ask.
Yes. The fact that you hear my car down the street, sir,
You
should
didn't
be
ask.
an indication. Let me get your car, Ma. Like, no, please don't wake up the neighbors.
I think that would be chivalry at its finest if I don't ask.
No, seriously.
I have a
that is
question, though.
beautiful. Yes.
So I feel like we have we want this expectation from men, but do women have the same standard of chivalry for them?
Yes, because first of all, we're still, and I hear this actually a lot and see it, to cook, to clean, to, help or support, whatever. That has never gone away. That has never shied away. I feel like that's at the forefront. And it's like, well, what do we get in return? Like, what are you supposed to do? We don't see that. I don't see that. I don't know about you guys. No other comment on that one? I dove into that one.
No, you got it.
I mean, we see it. That's the constant question of what do you bring to the table? Sir, at this point, everything.
We are the table.
I know that's right. Yeah, we are the table. But there's room for you, sir. I will gladly give this table over to a man who is ready to lead, who is, showing chivalry and all of that, because I don't want it. Looking at the camera, I don't want to carry it. All right. Lastly, and this is kind of a shift a little bit. How do you feel about the laws that have been passed that deal with the body of women? So there's the abortion law that's kind of Roe versus Wade went away, and that's kind of changed. And depending on the state that you live in, access to women's health has changed a little bit. Is there another one that has changed that I know of? Or that's the big one? Because that one actually covers a lot that
That's a
people
lot.
don't realize. Because abortion is the top part of it that people talk about, but it's like there's a lot under it as
really
well
is.
that
That's why I don't like it.
that got affected. It's like, okay, guys, yes, abortion, all of that, but
It's a lot.
I need to go to the doctor for a regular checkup. You know what I mean? Like, that. So that part of the conversation, our resident doctor will fill in for this section.
Come on now.
Dr. Lima.
Wow.
That's a lot. Get used to the doctor.
I'm not
White coat.
Yeah. So me, I do not like the law at all.
Yeah.
Only because, like what you said, abortion falls under like a huge umbrella, and even in school right now, like what we're taught right now is like even like if they call like if a patient has a miscarriage, we call it a spontaneous abortion. Like even that will be documented as a spontaneous abortion, and it's a miscarriage. And like all of a sudden you have lawmakers looking at it like, and I just the medicine behind pregnancy overall is not being portrayed in the laws because they're saying like you can't have abortion after 5 weeks. 5 weeks, some people don't know they're pregnant. So it's like I don't think the lawmakers actually took in medical advice when making these laws. I feel like it was very egotistical, the lawmakers that made the laws. I think it's just men trying to take control of things. I think it only benefits them the most because of the women are getting pregnant, but like the men can impregnate as many women as they can and not actually face those repercussions.
Nick Cannon.
It's them. I don't know.
Saying.
It's very. That's why I feel like it should not be like women on birth control. I think it should be men on birth control.
Correct.
That's a different conversation as well.
I agree.
But I do not agree at all. There's many reasons why someone would have an abortion. It's not just because they don't want the babies, either because they can't carry it to term. The baby won't be born healthy because there's a lot of all I learned in medical school so far is that so many things can go wrong, and like you don't want to live and have that poor lifestyle for that child to live with just because the law is telling you they should live, and it's just like. You want to be pro-life, but that's not a life worth living at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So
and who's gonna take care of that child?
Yeah.
With all the
And there's no
expenses
there's no the health insurance is bad.
Yeah.
The
Don't get me
the
started.
adoption, the foster care
Right,
system is terrible to even take care of that.
Yeah.
And it's just like some men don't want to take care of don't want to raise the child. So there's a woman raising all these children by themselves. Financially, they can't afford it, but they have to carry it. They have to have the baby.
Yeah.
And if they give away the baby, they look bad on. They have to face shame in the church. They have to face shame in their family. Like there's so many things that the woman had to do by herself, and it's just like men are deciding how they had to handle it, and it's not fair.
Yeah. I don't think nothing needs to be added to that. That was perfect, right? That was everything. You guys have anything else to add to that?
I mean, that's pretty much what it is. I feel like at the end of the day, you're robbing people of choice. Like at the end of the day, and then even if you don't agree with the decision, it still is their decision. You know, at the end of the day, even I feel like even in our faith, that is a thing. Like Christ didn't say, "Oh, you have to do this." No, it's I put life and death before you. Choose life, but it's your choice what you choose, and I feel like that's what's getting taken away. So yeah,
Absolutely. I love that faith take on it because that's been a pretty big part of this conversation, you know, but thank you for throwing that scripture in there. I don't think a lot of people actually read the word to figure that part out. Any other comment? All right, so we're wrapping up. Thank you guys for watching this episode. Be sure to get your merch, your Different by Default merch. It's there's a fall collection coming out, so
soon.
watch out for that. We love you guys, and we'll see you on another episode. Bye guys.
Tell me why they started panic.
Run it up, run it up, run it up, run it up. Whole lot of money in a tuck, tryna double up. I ain't in the lane with nobody, I'm on some other stuff.